Hi, this is Linda Easton with Linda Easton Coaching. So how are you today? Are you finding that maybe you're a little out of control? Maybe you're a little behind. It's summer and things that happen during the summer that kind of get us off track a little bit. We may have a little more fun, which is great, but maybe some things are slipping through the cracks. So if you're like me, maybe you've even bought like a program, uh, like a seminar or something like that, like a couple of weeks ago, and you've kind of forgotten that you signed up for that, and maybe you just need to watch the recordings now. So those things kind of happen. Please tell me I'm not the only one that happens to. I hope not, because it's so common for all of us during the summer, especially, to kind of get off track. But here we are getting ready for the school year, and if you're like me, that also makes you think that it's a new beginning. And so today I want to talk to you about setting up some systems to maintain things and take control of things that are in your life that are like on a regular schedule, and or should be. Maybe they've fallen off the schedule. You were doing so well, and then once again maybe you took a vacation. Hallelujah. Or just life gotten kind of in the way, and now you're thinking, oh my gosh, it's time for me to get back on track. I would really love to get back on track with all the things in my life that I have to do. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about setting up some systems. I know that when you're business for yourself, as we all are, business isn't supposed to be hard for entrepreneurs, especially. It's supposed to be fun. It may not be easy all the time, but it really shouldn't be hard. And being organized and having systems in place, having some routines set up, that is really my area of expertise. I'm kind of the organizing guru. And so for me, that's what makes life so special as an entrepreneur, that I have more time to do the things that I want to be doing, that I should be doing for my business. And I bet that's what you want to be doing too. That's what you tell me. So I'm here to help. I am here for you, because this is all fixable, just because we got a little off track. But what I'd like for us to do today is think about, what you went into business for. Hey, I got into business so that I could, share a message, or I can help other women with their businesses, help them grow their businesses, help them be healthier, help them find more spirituality in their life. So all kinds of things that we're on a mission to do, but we got a little off track. And sometimes I hear that, I don't want to be, I don't want to be tied to my calendar. I don't want to be tied to some systems. But how is that working for you? Because there's all kinds of things in our life that need to be maintained, that need to have a routine. And when you set up a routine, here's the gorgeous part of it, and I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. But here's the gorgeous part about it, is that you actually can have more freedom when you have things taken care of. And the big bonus is that if your business is at the point where you wish you had more time, because there are only so many hours in a day, and you wish you had more time, but it seems like things have gotten out of hand. And if you could only hire someone to kind of take care of some things, maybe it's customer service, maybe it's just going through and setting up some systems for you, getting all your autoresponders in place. Well, when you have done your homework and done your preparation, you have a system set up, and you can just teach someone how to do that. And it's still you. It's still branded for you. It still speaks from you. It's still all you, because I know that's what you want for your customers and your clients. Is it you want them to have you? And so when you've set up a great system that someone else can just step in and implement for you, well, that's gold, right? That's really a dream come true. And so that's what I'm here to help you do too, so that you can grow your business in the way that you really are inclined to do, and the way that inspires you, because I know that you need to share what it is your gift is with the world, and that's what I want to help you do. So we're going to talk about setting up some templates and things like that. If you can't remember when you had the oil changed on your car or when you had your last mammogram or something like that, then those are things we need to take care of, because when you don't know those things and when you don't keep track of those things, that's when we start feeling, out of control, and we start feeling down on ourselves, and we can also, kind of feel like a failure, kind of feel like we can't succeed at things because we can't even take care of some simple things, we call them. And so I don't want that for you. I want you to have the life that you're meant to live. And so we're gonna address that and get that freedom back. Get that freedom back for you to live your life and love your life. So by doing that, I know right now you're looking at this and you're saying, that says everything at the top of this page. And what that means is, do you have a list of everything? Of everything that needs to be taken care of in your business? Is there a need for you to have a lot of things done? And I'm sure there is. And so we need to start with talking about everything. When you do it like pieces and you do little tiny bits and nuggets and things like that, you're really still feeling a lot of things falling through the crack. So what we're going to start with is we're going to make a list of everything. And we're going to talk about how to make that list, how to brainstorm that list so that you have everything taken care of. And that means everything you're fixing, repairing, that has regular maintenance or a membership. Oh my gosh, it could be a lot of things. It could be when you're getting a new phone. It could be your gym membership. It could be your car getting your oil changed. It could be, lots of things. We're going to keep at it as we talk along. So that's what you're going to make a list of, everything. And what I love, and I know you've heard me talk about this before, I hope, because people say I help make this kind of stuff fun. I hope that's true for you, that you'll find that this is really going to be fun. And by including you, your family, and your team, and when I say your team, maybe it's just some really good people really close to you that know your business, sort of, but could help you kind of brainstorm and add a little dimension to this process. Because people will see things that you don't see because you're in it all the time. It's like walking into your office and saying, oh, everything looks great. And, if I scan the camera around my office does not look that great right at the moment. When I'm creating, it kind of gets a little out of control. And you all know, too, that I got a new desk and I'm redoing my office. So some things are falling through the cracks because I have this big project. Plus, I'm going to be launching a whole new webinar series for women who mean business, and I'm working on that. And so things like that kind of get in our way, if you will. And I know that you're going through the same things. So we need to step back, take a couple of hours. Really, this is all this is going to take. It may even take less. It depends. On how much help you're actually going to get. So think about setting up a time with your family or with team members. And the reason you want to, include your children all the way down to, even if they can't write yet, because they will have ideas. And you never know where a great idea comes from. So I encourage you to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a 3x3 sticky note. This is really just a sticky note. You're going to get a 3x3 and you're going to have one note for everything that you think of. One thing that you think of every time. So the item is going to be on the sticky note. If you happen to know the cost, you're going to kind of write that down. You may know that it's going to cost, $35 to get the oil changed, that kind of thing. And then the date is the date that it could be the date you did it last. You had that little sticker in your car and it tells you, when you're supposed to get the next one. I don't always follow those because, your mileage varies and that kind of thing. So I kind of follow more of the mileage itself, not the date, because then I know. And so to put the date on there that you either had the last one or that you need the next one. And what's great about that is that you have the last one, and then you cross that off and put it when you do that, because you're going to keep the sticky note around for a while. And so one note per item. So that means that we're gonna be color coding. So that means that everyone in the team, everyone who's doing this process with you, is going to have the three colors that we're going to talk about in a minute. Those three colors of those sticky notes. That every person is going to have all three colors, and you'll see why in just a minute. And so the fourth thing, this is just a 7-step process. I'm going to say 8-step process. So we're going to be brainstorming. And so what that means is, if you haven't heard me talk about this before, is that it's a free thinking time. It's when there's no commenting, no editing, and no limits. So if someone says, I think we need to, redecorate the living room, then don't say, oh, we can't afford that. Just let everyone write down whatever it is that comes to their mind, and all that will be dealt with later. Okay, we'll talk about all these, the editing part later, and we'll come up with that. But the idea that when you're really trying to brainstorm and really open up the doors and be creative, you can't limit yourself. That's really the whole process, is that things just need to spill out as we think of them, and then later we can edit. Later we can see the bigger vision. So I encourage you to do that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put all these Post-it notes that everyone has written on. As you could walk around your house like I have done many times. You just walk around from room to room and make this process happen. Now, what I've done too is, in my office, I may have a different perspective, obviously. I may have more things to do. So I may include the team either at the beginning or the end, but I'm encouraging you to include some people in your business aspect of it too, because they can have ideas. They hear you talk about your business. They know about your business. They may have helped you with your business. So let them in on part of that process as well. This isn't all... once again, it's all about open-minded and having that free thinking. So you're going to find a big wall, a big window. I have 2 sliding glass doors here. Maybe that's where I'll put it. Maybe I'll put it on a big window, a big wall, or on the back of a door or something like that, where you're going to have everyone, when they're all done, and you've all walked around room to room together, so that you kind of are sharing, but you're not really sharing. So if there's someone who is talking a lot about what they are thinking of, ask them to hold that thought, put it on the paper, and we're going to discuss it all later, because I don't want you to get bogged down with the walking around and sharing and starting to discuss, because that's really hard not to start going there. So everyone just walk around and write their things down, and when they're all done, everyone come to that spot and put all their things up on the wall, and you're going to do it in 3 categories. So essentially you're going to have 3 columns. There's going to be business, personal, and home. And then that way you can, it'll be easier to sort them a little bit, because they'll know, was that for the business, that was for the home, all those kinds of things. So you're going to do that. And then number 6 is, now after everything's put up, now you're going to ask as a group. There may be Post-its that someone has written something that you need some clarification on. And so this is when you start that being open-minded and valuing all ideas, because this is when you may have some amazing breakthroughs. But you'll want to start saying, okay, just whoever wrote that note, say, whoever wrote this, can I ask you a little more what it is you meant by new windows or something like that? Where did you mean that? What did you want to have happen? And then also at that time, if costs and who's going to be responsible, are you going to have to hire somebody, time frame, how long is this, do you think this project's going to take? That's when you're going to start writing a couple of little notes on the Post-it, so that it's there on the sticky notes, okay? And then this is the part that you've been wanting to do all along, and that is the prioritizing. Now, how do I decide out of these masses of things that I'm going to be doing in my life? How do I prioritize it? So let's start with the urgent, the things that might be late. And that may be, like even a card registration. Maybe your tags are due in like 2 weeks and you still need to get your car smogged, which is, I can relate, mine's due in October. So I know that I need to go get it smogged and mail that in time. And so start with things on there that look like they're really urgent. Maybe it's something that's broken and it really needs to be fixed, or it could be something such as you're going to put together a webinar or an email series, and you need an appointment program so that people can start signing up. Signing up appointments for you. If you're a business coach, maybe you're signing up people for your coaching, and you really don't have a good system yet. So you'll look at something like Time Trade, and you'll want to, and you need to set aside time for that. And you've been saying that, and the reason you haven't gotten your coaching business off the ground is because you don't have that piece in place. That is urgent. That has become urgent because it is really holding back your business. It's not just, it's holding back your life. It's holding back a lot of things. So urgent doesn't necessarily mean, that it's spilling all over the floor. It can mean a lot of different things. So look at that. Holding you up. It's holding you up from moving forward. Maybe you want to do an ebook, and you've been thinking about that, but you need to take a course on doing an ebook. And so I highly recommend, Tara Gentile just did one on creativelive.com, and I watched this webinar. It was amazing. And so if you think that you need to, sign up for something so you can do that, have that on the wall. Say, I'm going to write an ebook, create an ebook, but, what do I need to do that? So when you write these Post-its down, these sticky notes, you know that, there's other stuff around it. So it's just, sometimes it's the big thing, it's a goal, and sometimes it's the steps. And so, then you can write the next Post-it for that item, and you'll see how we're going to do that later too. You'll group them essentially. You may find that there's things in your lists that it's just been frustrating you. It's just really, it's just frustrating you. You wanted to paint that room, and you wanted to, and you wanted to, and you wanted to, and it's just, finally the frustration level is so high that once again, it's probably holding you up in some way, mentally, some way. It could be, holding you back. And so know that the frustrating is also a good way to prioritize. And then maybe there's something on there you just would love to get done. Maybe that ebook, maybe that's it. Maybe it's that, that whole new coaching program that you wanted to do. Maybe it's you want to start blogging every week. Maybe you're not doing that yet. And so something you would absolutely love to get done. So start with these to prioritize what to do first, what to do second, those kinds of things, and when you're going to do them and who's going to do them. Because once again, remember that it's just like setting a goal. These have to be things that you can do. We can't set goals for others in our life, because they have to be involved. They have to want it. Now, even though you involved your family in this whole process, and they may be thinking of things that are for them, that's for them, but they don't think they're going to do it. But you may find in this discovery process that it is something that they can do. So maybe this thing that we would love to get done is maybe you want to redecorate. You have a child maybe that is ready for that next room, that next phase of their room, and you're going to do it together. But you need to incorporate the cooperation, if you will. You need to get their buy-in and get them to cooperate. So they're going to have to go through and sort out all the things in their room that they don't want to have anymore, that they can donate. Maybe there's, clothes in their closet, all those things that maybe you're going to do this as a team. Maybe they're going to pair up. My sister and I are very close in age, and so we did everything together when we were growing up at a certain point. And we would have done that together. My mom may have said, it's time, but we didn't have to worry about purging that much. Because my mom created that schedule for us because we moved almost every year of my life as I was growing up. So as I moved, it was like out with the old kind of thing all the time. And but it was good. It was good. I loved it. We were we were very focused in that way. It was great to put new things away and have everything put away. So see, I kind of learned how to do this at a very young age. And you can teach your children too. You don't have to move all the time, but you can have a regular schedule. And that's kind of what this whole process can bring about. If you do this brainstorming at least once a year, and maybe now is a great time to do that, right when school is starting back, before they get all involved in all the activities at school. This is a great time to visit this whole idea of let's start fresh. So that's kind of the whole process. Because some of us, as we've gotten older, obviously, but we still all, I don't know about you, but I still feel like September is when I get to start fresh, when I feel so energized. I love fall, so maybe that's part of it too, is that it's all because of that freshness and that newness and that just, kind of hitting it hard before the end of the year and trying to reach all the goals that I had in my life for this year. So all things are good. Now, when you're doing this too, I want to say that you want to have a separate column for memberships. So say this is your business column. So put the posties down this side, and then this column here could be for those membership things. So like all the renewals for, spam filters on your website, for your website URL, when those are due, when do you have to pay those? When do you have to renew those? For your personal, when is my gym membership up? When do I get my hair cut? All those things, that's not really a membership, but it kind of is, it's something you do on a very regular basis. So put those in kind of a separate column so that the project aspects of things will be in a separate column, and it'll be easier and have more clarity to it. And the big bonus, if you're having so much fun doing this, because I know you will, is that now that you have all this done and it's so awesome and everything, you need to think about creating a budget and or forecast for how much these things are going to cost, because that will also come into your prioritizing, right? If something is going to cost $10,000, you may need to save for that. You may need to plan for that. You may need to, figure that out. So knowing that you're going to create a budget and a forecast, because a lot of the reasons we've procrastinated a lot of these things is because we didn't have the money. So it's okay. We don't have the money for everything we want in life, right? Yet. We're working towards that, but all of it comes down to really what's important. Do I really need, X, Y, Z when I can't afford it? But why am I thinking I need that? So there's so many things that come into play when you're talking about the money aspect, and we're going to talk about that further in another blog. And we're going to, as I have here more to come, a little teaser. I'm going to put in a budget sheet for today's blog. We're going to do a sheet that will help you prioritize these projects. It's kind of the next step. And then we're going to talk about the money, and I have this little budget sheet for you to use that is very powerful in helping you keep track and stay on track. And that's because that's what we want for our lives. We want to stay on track. We want to reach those goals that we've set for this wonderful life that we're creating, that we deserve to have in our entrepreneurial life. And that's what I wish for you. So after you have all these things up on the wall and you've kind of moved things around and you're going to prioritize them, don't stress out that it's not all done. Just know that this is an evolving process. It's going to take step after step, and you're going to look at this wall, wherever it is. You're going to look at this every week, when Sunday night, Monday morning, whenever you're doing your planning for the week, You're going to be walk up to this wall and say, okay, what on here that I've moved to the top that's really kind of a priority, what am I going to calendar for this week? Maybe once again, it's a multi-step process. Maybe that ebook thing is kind of, first I have to do this, I have to do that. So what one thing about that am I going to put on my list for this week? Maybe two things. And then you're going to put those in your calendar, the actions you're actually going to take. So this is going to be your inspiration, and it's going to keep you focused. Many of you, I know like 90% of people are very visual, as I am very visual, and having this visual is going to be very, very powerful. Now, if you don't have a place where you feel comfortable having this out, you could use either a flip chart like this, and you can flip them over. You'll see that I use these for some of my Post-its. See, I lay things out sometimes. That's how I do creation of workshops and that kind of thing. I use the sticky notes all over them. So, if you have to put it away somewhere, but put it back so you can see it. And I even flip things over when I'm sitting at my desk so that I can glance over and see things. Because that visual reminder is very, very powerful, and that's what I'm hoping that you'll do too, to have that. Now, once again, I have my dream board wall, I call it. I have a whole wall of cork that I created here in my office, and I can do that on there as well. When I was designing my website, I took everything off that cork board except my calendar, and all that was the movement about my website, whether what the pages were and the different inspirations and all kinds of things. And so I hope you have some place like that. You need to create a place like that. Even if it's closet doors, if your office has closet doors, then use those doors. And if you have to tape them down so when the doors slide that they don't come off, do whatever it takes. That's all I can say, because that'll be a very powerful visual reminder for you. And then know that when you do this, I guarantee you that the clarity and the just the feeling that this will give you about how now, you know everything you're going to do. Don't let it overwhelm you. It's not meant to do that. It's meant to inspire you. It's meant to keep you on track, and it will help you with that. Now, once again, if you think it'll overwhelm you a little bit, just try using either poster board and put it on there and then slide that behind a dresser or something, and only bring it out when you're doing your planning, but gently on yourself. You might get used to it. You may be able to leave it out more and more. Take the steps that are needed for you to feel comfortable with it, so that it drives you and it inspires you instead of making you feel a little lost or whatever. I'm serious. Sometimes it's like, oh, I have that much to do, when you thought you knew what you had to do, but see, once you have this visual, once you have control over all this inspiration, it's going to be powerful for you. And so I hope you give it that chance, and know that you tweak it to your own liking. Send me an email if you have a question so we can go through it. Call me. We can go through it and talk about how this can be modified for you. I might just have some other ideas for you, but that's what I want for you to do is just make it work for you. Make it work for you. That's what we're here for. Well, I really appreciate your time. I know that this was a little longer than just a regular little blog that you might be seeing someone else do. But I want you always to get value from what I have, and I don't think you can do that in 5 minutes. I think that that going through step by step every once in a while on a process is very powerful, and I want you to have that. I want you to have the tools that you need, the systems that you need to change your life and give you that extraordinary life that you deserve. And I look forward to seeing you next time. This is Linda Easton with Linda Easton Coaching. Go out and make your dreams come true.